Oops. There we go. Oh, we are live. Yay. Hey, YouTube. Oh, it is a beautiful spring day. Flowers are blooming. Yes, I know those are dandelions, but dandelions, aside from them being a weed that spreads far, I think they look nice. I like their look, but they are a weed. So, in this episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about why it might be a good idea for counterfeiters, bad guys, people like that to counterfeit $1. I do not, or small currency in general, I do not in any way, shape, or form condone stealing and counterfeiting and any of that stuff. This is kind of food for thought, and hopefully it might spur some thought in the good guys and, I don't know, help a few people out in combating crime. So I'm going to start off by paraphrasing two stories. Both of these I've seen in YouTube videos. You can find them by searching, search $2 going to jail on YouTube. Should be the top two videos. It was for me last time I searched. And if you can't find them, then let me know in the comments and I will help you guys out, give you guys a link to these two videos. I'm not going to be in the description because this is live. I'm recording on my way to work, and right now I kind of don't have time to put those in the description. And I don't know. Anyway, but the first one, and I'm going over these really quickly, not going into a lot of detail with them, names and places and stuff like that. You guys can go watch them if you want more info. But the first one, there was this guy who he needed to pay for something, and so he decided to pay in $2 bills, and the cashier thought, oh, this is, these are fake. Checked him out, called the manager up. The manager said, oh, these are fake. Called the police. Police took him away to jail. Called the IRS. The IRS said, those are real. They let him out of jail. And so he was in there for, I don't know, maybe like a night or something. Not very long, honestly, but that's kind of shameful. Before I forget, this is not a video, this is a story that my mom has from a friend. I think this was McDonald's, and there was a guy who was going to pay for some stuff with a $2 bill, and the cashier was like, no, this is fake. And he was like, are you a little bit crazy? Like, why would I fake this? What's the point of it? And then they call the manager up, and the manager says to the cashier, yeah, why would anyone fake $2? Okay. Now the other story, and that has a relevant point there, I'll get back to that in a minute. The other story is, there was this 13-year-old girl who wants some chicken nuggets for lunch at school, and she decides to pay for them with a $2 bill. And the lunch lady's like, this is fake. You're being a very bad teenager. And she calls the cops up. The police take her away, tell her grandmother there might be some charges against her, and starts investigating. And then he finds out that it's real. They let her go and give her back her $2. And that's about it. And that's pretty much enough to traumatize a teen. I'm positive of that. And I'd probably be traumatized if that happened to me. Like, seriously, no. And it's disconcerting that a lot of people don't know about $2 and think that they're fake. But then also another important thing from that video is that one of the banks said that, we don't prosecute people who bring in fake money. Well, we will take the money and confiscate it, throw it away. They don't get however much it is going into their bank account, but we don't prosecute them because that money could have been made 25 people ago. So we don't know how far along down the chain it's been. Now, they didn't say this, but me personally, I am positive that if they did have some evidence that this particular person was the counterfeiter, they would look into it and prosecute them. But in most cases, they don't prosecute because you can't tell where it's from, which I totally agree with. So, now here's the thing. Why would anybody counterfeit a dollar? Counterfeit a $2 bill or a $1 bill? Well, they probably wouldn't, right? I mean, going under the logic that if you can get away with a counterfeit 50 and nobody catches you, And let's say that you buy something, I think my mom used the example of $15, and you pay for it with a 50. Now you've got 45 real dollars that nobody is going to catch at all. They're real, not fake at all. And then that 50, you know, it might not even be tieable to you. The cashier might not remember what you look like. They might not ever see you again. You know, you might take your counterfeit and go travel to a state that you don't live in or plan on going back to for any good reason and pay for it there. And then when you go back to your hometown, now 45 real dollars, and everybody that knows you knows nothing, right? Okay, great. So, but the thing is, why not counterfeit a $1 bill? Because nobody is looking for a counterfeit one. There was, this was several months ago, one of my coworkers, actually former coworker, but he left on his own terms. So he wasn't a bad person at all. He said, I've got another job, I'm gonna put my 2 weeks in. He was a good worker. But he, completely on accident, took a counterfeit $20 bill, which we have always been checking 20s, we've always been checking 50s and 100s. Always at the dollar store. And, oh, what am I thinking of? So we've always been checking those, and there's always been quickly call up a manager, have them check the bill, and then you're good to go. In my case, I was a manager for a little while, so I kind of don't need to do that. They trust me, is what they've said, which is nice. It makes the process go a little bit easier. You don't have to wait for a manager to come up. But so for a little while, we were checking $20 bills because he took a counterfeit. Who knows if they're going to try and pass another one through our store. And I will admit I wasn't the best at remembering to check 20s because that's not natural. I just don't do that because I don't even think about it. So seriously, nobody is looking for, 99% of the time, $20 or lower, nobody's looking to see if it's fake. Because why would you do that? So then why wouldn't you? Now, my mom did bring up the point that if you're counterfeiting smaller currencies, there's a lot more chance that you'll get caught because you have to pass more of it. And I'm saying you don't have to do it all at once. You know, I'm saying, like, you don't have to do it all at once. You know, let's say maybe if you counterfeit a $10 bill, then that's a one-time thing. But let's say you counterfeit 10 ones. I don't know, use them in different locations. Don't use them all at once. I get that there is maybe a little bit more risk because you're passing a lot more counterfeit money through and getting less in return. You know, you pay for something with $10, it's $5 about. You only get $5 back. I get that. But, again, why not? Because nobody's looking for it. So, there may be, and so I would argue that there's less risk involved because nobody's looking for it. I mean, there are some people that are looking. Like, I will say one of my coworkers, I'm not going to say which one, so if any of you guys get any ideas, you won't know. But he's always checking, like, 20s and stuff like that. And it just seems a little bit awkward and odd when most people don't. And what's the point, kind of. But then, maybe why not? Why not check for people paying with smaller currency? Part of the reason you don't want to is because it is less common and it takes more time. If we had to check all of our bills, it takes more time. I mean, if we're checking all of our bills like that, then why don't we just make it so that 99% of our registers have a bill slot and the computer does the checking? And then, you know, you still have a person there to help out and be friendly like a normal cashier, but the computer does the checking of the bills. Then that could save time and money, and we're kind of leaning towards that way anyways with all of these different stores that, like Amazon Go store and stuff like that. And that's kind of another topic for another day, but we're kind of leaning towards that. So, seriously, I don't condone any of this at all, but if you are thinking about doing this, well, I don't know, there you go. But also for the good people, keep this in mind too. At this point, I wouldn't say be super wary of it, but just kind of keep an eye out, you know? See if you see anything suspicious, if anything looks like it might go that way. But yeah, just why not counterfeit small currency? Nobody's looking for it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hey, we actually got a 10-minute Let's Talk. Usually I end up saying it's going to be short, 10 or less, and it ends up being like 20. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys can't find those videos, let me know in the comments below, and I will give you guys those links. And let me know what your thoughts on this are. You know, maybe you've had different experiences that say this might not work at all. If you enjoyed this, go check out my other Let's Talk videos where it's just me talking and walking. These are unscripted, but that's the point. It's quick, clean work. And check out the rest of my channel too. Maybe subscribe. I'll see you guys in whatever's next.